Hey, hello, scrappers. I got a bunch of wire. Bunch that's those battery cables out of all those lawnmowers that I scrapped back in December. So I'm going to try to fire up the strip meister and get a bunch of that stuff stripped. So I got 2 buckets set aside over here. I figure one will be for the Bear Bright, but not all of it's going to be Bear Bright, as you know. So, and I should have sorted out by thickness, but really gotta have some room to sort it. And I got some in that gray tote up there too, some good thick stuff. So it's 1:45. I get busy, start stripping, see where I'm at about 5, 6 o'clock, and we'll go from there. So I'm gonna kind of zoom in on the strip meister a little bit. Got a nice thick piece here, got some thinner ones right there. So kind of trying to find a few that all look alike, pretty much alike, and kind of start there. So, and then usually what I like to do when I'm first setting it up for a size, I like to just cut a small piece. I'm going to throw a few of these pieces down here on the ground that look, that one looks a little thicker. They look kind of close, but I always try to set this down a little bit below the V, where you have to kind of force your wire up into the drive wheel. And then try to raise it up pretty good above it. It didn't even touch it there, so I'll come down some. Okay, pulled it through that time, but it didn't really cut it. Starting to cut down in there, but not quite deep enough yet. The bad thing with the stranded stuff, if you cut too deep, it'll end up cutting the wire, and then you'll have all kinds of little shards sticking out and get poked with it. I got my garbage can right behind me for all the insulation. This one here is not really real bright, so I guess that'll be number 2. Now I kind of put that in. I'm going to do on some of this stuff that might be too thin, and if it is too thin, I'll set it over here in a different pile. Pretty sure that's too thin, yep. This one here may be too thick. Consider it. Yeah, I think this is just a hair thicker. I'll make a pile of it. Kind of sort it as I go. That one's not real shiny. Yeah, that one's pretty thick. This one looks about like what we're doing. Real nice day out there today. It's like 70 degrees in here right now. But that wind's getting after it, so with that wind blowing like it's blowing, I thought I'd work inside. So I've been out here for an hour or so just cleaning the ends off of these. Had a bunch on the workbench and had a bunch on top of that gray tote. And I got all the wire cleaned up off the workbench, but I didn't get the workbench cleaned up. This one's a little bit shinier, but still, I don't know if I'd go as far as call it bare bright. I thought it might get some, but I think that's a little thicker. Some of this is just a little bit thicker than what I'm running. Not by a lot, but just a hair. That one did, well, looks like you cut it right there. I'll take it down just a hair. Yeah, cut it good right there, so that was close. So it didn't cut it good on that end. Cut it good on this end. That's usually why I keep a knife handy, because sometimes there's just might be a little section that it didn't get all the way down to the copper. I might go ahead and throw that one, might call that one bare bright. That one's pretty thick. Here's a short one. Yeah, it looks about like what I'm doing. So there's quite a few short ones down in there. On that motor I did in the last video, I think I ended up with just under 7 pounds of copper. Yeah, see, this one cut too deep. I thought it was a little bit too big around. They get a lot of little short pieces. That one's a little thicker. If you want to go for speed on this, it's good to, pre-sort everything if you can, but sometimes you got so many different size wires, it's just almost impossible to sort stuff unless you just really spread it out. Which I could have spread it out outside, as nice as it is. I could be sitting out there in the sun, working on my tan. Yeah. Watching a few catfish videos this morning on YouTube. But yeah, I'm getting ready to get out there and do some fishing. Sometimes this insulation is hard to spread apart where you can get that. And I have to be kind of careful because being diabetic and on insulin, your fingernails get kind of brittle. So it's pretty easy to break them. They break real easy. Nice copper there. This one here's a skinny one. There's a fat one. I think this one, we're kind of trying to size it up. I think that one's a little too fat. This one's pretty skinny. This one might be about right. It's pretty close. Yeah, it can be kind of relaxing just sitting stripping wire. Yeah, apparently this one cut a little bit too deep. Let's see if I can get in. I have to be real careful how I handle this. Let me see. You can kind of see the let's see. Okay, there we go. You can see all the little wires sticking up there. Yeah. So I've got to be careful how I handle that one. It looked really close to the size I was cutting too. Looked real close. I think this one's a little under. Yeah, that one's smaller. That one looks pretty close. Little might be a hair bigger, so it may fray out like that. It looks like it cut it pretty good. Yeah, it's fraying a little bit. May have come up just a hair. I'm getting a few of it. Guys, I guess you can't really see me, can you? Getting a shot of the Viewmaster. But you're not really seeing me over there. Maybe I need to move closer or pan out here a little bit. Maybe there. Try to get a better shot for your viewing pleasure. I don't know. Kind of made a dent in the bucket, but that's probably because I have a lot of it laying down here on the floor. Yeah, I probably need to run an ad on some of the Blanchard groups. See if I can get some appliances and whatnot together. Try to put together a load here for in a week or two. I got poked myself apparently. Got a little spot of blood. Yeah, I got some thin stuff, thick stuff here on top, and I got a lot of little stuff down in there too that I know of. Various thicknesses. This one here, a lot of the insulation is pretty thin in spots. His Stripmeister's a little expensive. That wire was pretty frayed out at the back end. You got to pull it through. Pretty frayed there. Yeah, I got my Stripmeister when I was still working full time, and COVID hit. Started getting those stimulus checks, and then they shut the plant down there for a little bit. In between what I was making on unemployment and what federal government was throwing in, I was making more while I was home than what I was making when I was working full time. So yeah, I wasn't anxious to get back to work, but I was one of the first ones called back. They were going to call back this other guy, but he said he wasn't ready to come back yet, so they didn't make him come back. They had me come in at his place, so he got to make that big money for another week. Yeah, sometimes what I'll do, like I just did there, I'll run it through, then I'll flip it over and run it through again. That way a big piece will come off, and then you don't have to fight with the insulation trying to spread it apart, because it'll just, you know, almost come apart in halves. I got a piece of Romax in here. I'll set that up there for right now. It's thicker. That's definitely thicker. I got a lot of thinner stuff in there. I haven't cut the ends off of this one yet, so I'll set it aside. So I don't want to bore you guys too much, so what I might do, I may go ahead and just strip up a bunch of this, get it all done, and then I'll resume the video. And so there, it ran through both sides, and it just comes right off. That's got a little bit of shiny, but a lot of dull stuff in there. See, there's some small, even smaller. There's some in there about 3-4 inches long. Yeah, I got some little stuff, big stuff. So I'll go ahead and pause this thing, and because if I keep going like this, I'll probably run out of battery power long before I get this done. See, when you make 2 cuts, it just peels off. Okay, I'll pick it up here shortly, and we'll see how much I can get gathered together here. So be back in a bit. Hey, scrappers, I'm gonna call it quits for the day. Didn't quite get it done, but I did. It's 20 after 6 right now. I did stop for a little bit and eat dinner, and then I had to pull off here a few minutes ago and go load up a disc plow that I sold for $100. So yeah, don't mind stopping for make some money. So I got this stuff here. I got some of this really soft. It's kind of like out of an old extension cord, power cord or something. So it's really kind of spongy rubber. So I got to set it a little bit smaller than what it is right now to get this pile. And then I got, you know, some bigger stuff here that I got to adjust for. But got a little bit of Bear Bright, a little bit of some of the other one. Got a few little brass clips here that I had to cut off with copper in it. Re-zero the scale. Okay, it's zeroed out. We'll put the little one on there. This bucket's getting brittle. £5, 1 ounce. Okay, the bucket weighs about 2 pounds, so we got about 3 pounds there. About $9. Yeah, I think I'll have to set the camera down for a second. I gotta run all that insulation out there to get it dumped real quick. 16 pounds, so we got about 14 pounds there. So about $42, something like that. Not bad for a few hours work. Man, that thing is just breaking, and it's 2 buckets I've had sitting up there for a long time. So yeah, they're getting brittle. I probably have to put them in some newer buckets and take them out to the dumpster. Get rid of them. Yeah, yesterday I had 4 barrels that I picked up that had the ends kind of cut out for dog houses. I sold them $10 a piece yesterday. And then today they come by for that disc plow. So glad to see it go. Now I can go take it off, get it off Marketplace, take the listing down. I got to get some pictures maybe tomorrow. I'll get some other stuff posted on there. But getting a bunch of stuff either cut up out here or getting it sold. So making some money. I need to go down and get a sheet of 1/2-inch plywood for that. Well, that's not quite 1/2 inch. It's like 15-30 seconds. So kind of like originally they had 2x4s were actually 2" by 4", and then they went down to 1.5 by 3.5. Surprised they haven't gone down even smaller with this inflation. But I mean, how small can you make a 2x4 and it still be structurally sound? Yeah, that's the question. Anyway, and I get out here sometime in the morning, afternoon, and well, I got to go pick up a refrigerator in the morning. So I guess after I get back from that, I'll come in here and dial that blade down just a little bit thinner and get that pile cut, and then I'll play with that pile. Go up to the thickest one and start there and work my way back down. So I want to thank everybody for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I know I didn't get a lot of the action in there. I could have probably tried to record it all. You know, I would have probably had to stop and charge the battery a couple times. But then I could have sped it up. But I don't know, sometimes those are entertaining, but sometimes they're not. So I want to thank everybody for watching again, and we'll see you guys in the next video. So you guys take care, and I believe I have a link to the Stripmeister on my Amazon affiliate page, but I can't guarantee. So There'll be a link in the description below the video, and I think it would be under the tools that I use. So you guys take care and happy scrapping. Bye bye.